Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, I am going to talk about how you can elevate your training game. You'll see that my subtitle says Move Better, Laugh More, and Think, Feel, and Live Like a Champion. As someone who started running as a mom of young children, during that time of my life when I was constantly tired and stressed, I looked forward to my gym time and my running time with friends. This was my time for me to recharge and get energized. I remember a day when I had my three little girls all lined up at the bottom of the stairs, and they're all sitting there looking at me, waiting for me to put their shoes on so that we could go wherever it was we were going to go. And I just remember plopping down on the floor and looking at them and wanting to have a little tantrum of my own because I was so exhausted and I didn't feel like I could do one thing more. And and I certainly didn't have the energy to put their shoes on and get everyone in the cars and in their car seats and then get them out of the car and go wherever it was we were going. We've all been there in our own little version of that story, and it's not fun. So it's always my goal to help people move better and laugh more because if you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. Whether you're a longtime runner or someone who's just starting out or someone who hates running, no matter where you are on that spectrum, exercise, movement gives you energy and it helps you recharge. I remember, for those of you who are not familiar with my story, about 3 years ago, not quite 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and I had to go through treatment that involved chemotherapy. And right after you get a chemo treatment, your body is just exhausted. Your body hurts. For me, it hurt me to walk. And so for about 2 or 3 days during every cycle of treatment, I would do a lot of just lying on the couch, doing nothing. But one thing that I made myself do every single day was if my feet hurt too much to walk, I would get up and I would do a short little yoga routine that I had. It was only 8 minutes long, but every time I did it, it just took away the pain in my feet and in my calves and made it so that I could move and enjoy life more. And I think that's one of the things with movement is that if you want to move and just be mobile throughout your life, you have to get rid of those excuses. You have to keep on moving. So my goal really is that I want people to find an activity that they can fall in love with. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Kim Peak. I'm a running, fitness, and mindset coach at Power of Run. I started Power of Run, it's probably been close to 10 years ago, as a Facebook page and a blog to chronicle my running adventures. And it turned into a coaching business and just a way for me to interact with people and help them stay active, encourage runners, and help them find their running tribe. So today we are going to talk about what I call the 5 pillars of training, or the 5 things that I think will help you elevate and optimize the time you spend exercising or training. So super quick, the 5 pillars, the 5 most important things that I think you can do to maximize your training time and get the most out of the time that you put forth are to train smarter, to focus on recovery and self-care, avoid injury, eat a variety of nutritious whole foods, and have fun. You'll hear a lot that fun is a big thing with me. So let's jump into the first one, train smarter. First, it's important to understand your goals and be honest with yourself. What do you like? Who do you like to spend time with? How much time do you really have to commit? For most of us, the changes that we go through changes, different seasons of life. And how much time we have to commit might vary depending on if you have young children or if you're at a certain stage of your career where you really have to put in more work time. So you have to think about what your goals are. If you know that you don't want to spend several hours of your weekend going on a long run, a marathon might not be right for you. If you can't stand the thought of spending hours and hours on your bike, maybe a sprint triathlon is more your speed than a half iron distance race. Also, think about your family and work commitments, how that will affect your training. Are your kids at a stage where they're waking up early the minute you walk out the door? And so you're trying to sneak out of the house, and then you walk out of the door and you have all these little kids and toddlers that are awake, and all of a sudden now you're stressed because you wanted to go run and you have little people to take care of. So just think about the demands on your time, be honest with what you can and can't do, because you don't want your training to be a chore. Find what's manageable. You can find something that's still super challenging, but maybe doesn't take as much time. And always remember that the goal is that this is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a drag. So whatever it is that you do, make sure it's something that you like. Listen to your body. The whole no pain, no gain thing, that is BS. Our bodies need rest. They need recovery time. And you need to learn how to tell the difference between I don't want to and, ooh, there's something wrong here. Maybe I should see a doctor. Because you don't want that injury to get to the point of, oh, I need to see a doctor. You want to be able to be proactive so that you're not getting injured all the time. But listening to your body is really important. Consistency is also really important things. You'll see consistency show up a couple of times here. It's one of the most important things you can do. You are so much better off doing a little bit every day, or 6 days a week, or 5 days a week, 10 to 20 minutes a day, rather than not doing anything all week and then having a 3-hour workout session on the weekend. Or going hard for a week and then deciding that you're so miserable, your body hurts so bad that you take a whole bunch of weeks off. Consistency, small baby steps on a regular basis will give you way bigger leaps than sporadic training. And then also, I'm clumping together the gradually increasing mileage in with the slow running is good. Training smart means paying attention to your body. So you want to gradually increase that mileage. I know when I first started out, I loved running. I got so addicted to it. And I would get in these little competitions with some of my friends, and we'd send a text, how far did you run today? Oh, I ran 3 miles. Oh, well, I'm going to run 4. And we would get in these stupid competitions to outdo each other. Don't fall into that trap. What is good for your body is not necessarily good for your friend's body. And you need to tailor your training to what your body is telling you. Also, slow running. I hate it when I hear people who don't want to do that slow recovery run because they're self-conscious and think people are going to make fun of them. You need to listen to your body. And when you're running slow, that is where the big adaptations happen to your body. You gain endurance. There are big benefits to running slow, and your body needs those easier recovery runs. You cannot go hard all the time because it's just going to beat up your body. And there's nothing wrong with walking. A good walk run is great for people who are just starting, people who are coming off of surgery or illness. It's a great way to reduce the stress on your body so that you can run more often. You just never know what stage of training somebody's at. Maybe they had a long run the day before, and today is their easy recovery run. And so they're just having an easy job. So I'm saying this in part to enlighten you so that you are not judging other people. And maybe then you will be willing to give that grace to somebody else, or you'll give that grace to yourself and understand that people aren't always judging you for running slow. They're not judging you for walking. And you know what? Who really cares if they are judging you? Because we should all be just paying attention to what is the smartest thing for our own bodies. Focus on recovery and self-care. Self-care seems to be the new buzzword for all things related to recovery and loving yourself. Recovery days are just as important, maybe more important than your long run days. We need to learn to put a priority on self-care. It's not selfish to take care of your body, to relax, to rejuvenate. We should not be in that big competition of, oh, how are you today? Oh, I'm so busy, I'm exhausted. Life is not a competition to see who is the most busy and the most ragged at the end of the day. A good parent is taking care of themselves first so that they are available to help their family members. It's the whole airplane, put your own mask on first theory. Take care of yourself, get enough sleep. Again, we're not in a competition to see who can get the least amount of sleep at night. Your body does its recovery, the muscle repair at night while you are sleeping. So make sure you're getting the rest that you need. And if you can't sleep, if you're having trouble sleeping, eliminate caffeine at the end of the day. Turn off your screens. Don't have any screen time after 8 p.m. And there's even glasses that you can put on to block that light so that it's not affecting your sleep. So there's lots of things you can do if you're having trouble sleeping. Rest at least 1 day a week. Rest is not a 4-letter word. If you are a runner and you're not feeling refreshed between workouts, you can change your training cycle so that your long run or your hard run is every 10 to 14 days instead of once a week. That's the thing. You can do that. You're still being consistent because you have it scheduled at a regular interval. But if your body needs more time to recover, give your body more time to recover because you're not going to do yourself any benefit by beating yourself into the ground. And more exercise does not equal better endurance or bigger muscles if your body is not recovering between workouts. Spend time on mobility and flexibility work also. If you need to have a good range of motion in your ankles, your toes, and your hip flexors especially to be able to run. If you cannot roll through that range of motion on your toe, or if you're running and your ankle is not able to move, you are creating the potential for new injuries to happen. So mobility and flexibility work. Mobility is the ability to move through a range of motion in a joint, and flexibility is what you think of when you think of being able to touch your toes and actually like stretch the muscles. Those are both important when it comes to running. So spend time on those aspects of your training. If you stay until the end of this training, I do have a free offer with some of my favorite training tools. And inside that offer is a video that I have to teach people a little bit more about mobility work. Also use recovery tools such as foam rolling and massage. And listen to your body. I said that before, I'll say it again. Listen to your body. Take a yoga class, get a massage, take a bath with candles and Epsom salts and music. Do whatever it takes to help you relax and recover. Training can be hard on your body, and so you want to use all the tools that are available to you. Avoid injury. So training is a form of stress on your body. So is having a sick kid, a big meeting at work, moving, a promotion, even happy stress is stress. You need to take all of this into account when you are training And that's one reason why rest days and recovery days are important. We talked a little bit about mobility. Strengthen the weak links. A lot of times, runners will have glute weaknesses or balance issues. And it's important as runners that we are working on strengthening our core, making sure we don't have imbalances on one side versus the other. Especially as you get older, this stuff is a lot more important. I remember when I went through a time where I was always injured. I hated the fact that I had to do what I considered at the time to be baby exercises while everyone else was showing off at the gym, doing all these compound exercises, all this heavy weight, just all kinds of things I really wanted to be doing, but my body was saying I wasn't ready for. But I have come to realize that I am one of the people who will always be one step away from being injured unless I take the time to take care of my body. And so with all of my clients, because as I do more running form screens, I see that pretty much most of the people, unless they are an elite athlete who is already working with a coach, most of the people I work with have the same basic weak links. And a lot of that is lack of flexibility, lack of mobility in the ankles, lack of strength in the hips, lack of strength, maybe lazy glutes, and a weak core. And so we work on all of those things. And again, if you stay till the end in your little bonus package, I have a link for what I call my basics bundle. And in the basics bundle, I do have a video that has the exercises that I call the basics. And those are my top 5 exercises that I assign to most of my runners because I think that they are the minimum that you can get by with doing to make sure that you stay healthy and able to run. Consistency is important. Are you seeing a theme here with consistency? If you are inconsistent or your mileage is all over the place, running tons of miles one week and hardly anything the next week, you're just inviting injury. Also avoid over racing and over training. I know people who like to do a half marathon every single weekend or every other weekend. And that can be hard at your body if you're racing all of those. Now, if you're going and some of those you're doing a walk-run strategy or you're not running all out or you're doing them for fun, that's a whole different animal. So what I'm talking about is every single weekend, going out, going hard. Coming back to my other theme, you need to give your body time to recover. One of my favorite topics, I could do this one, we could talk about this one all day long. Eat real food. One of my top tips when it comes to this is to give up soda or pop or whatever you call it in your part of the country. Stuff is bad for you. If you're drinking regular soda, it has tons of high fructose corn syrup in it. If you're using diet sweeteners or artificial sweeteners are now showing, there's more research showing that they are bad for us. So just try to limit as much artificial sweeteners and sugars and dyes as you can. Those things are all bad for us. And they all cause inflammation. And if you're a runner or an athlete, you don't want to add more inflammation to your body. And seriously, by cutting those things out, by cutting out the types of foods that cause inflammation, it will help your body recover from your training faster. And you're just going to feel better because this stuff really does just take a toll on your body. So if you're going to try to get rid of sugary drinks, you might try drinking more water, maybe adding lemon or fruit to it. You might even add a splash of fruit juice while you're trying to wean yourself off. Also, fill your plate with nutritious food that comes from the perimeter of the store. Your fruits, veggies, meats, nuts, dairy, healthy proteins. Stuff in the middle of the store is usually the stuff that comes out of a box. And the stuff in a box is filled with all kinds of preservatives and chemicals and stuff that isn't good for us. A lot of it also has extra sugar, salt, or funky fats, not good fats, to help make it taste good. And we want to stay away from those things. So fill your plate with nutritious food. Fill your fridge with so many healthy choices that a bag of chips or a container of ice cream doesn't even appeal to you. You might laugh now, but your body will thank you for it and you'll crave the healthy stuff. Right now, I have a fridge that is full of a whole different variety of lettuces and sprouts and radishes and all kinds of veggies. And I'm so hungry for a salad, which I know sounds crazy if you're a salad hater. But if you fill your house with the good stuff, you will eventually start to crave the good stuff. I was actually really hungry for green beans the other day. And also learn to read labels. Just because it says organic or comes from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's does not mean it's always good for you. Because it still might be something. You can make an organic cookie and it's still loaded up with sugar. And I'm not saying to always cut those things out. These things are good in moderation, but just know that just because it comes from Whole Foods, that's not a license to go all out and eat tons of it, because it still doesn't mean it's always a good food for you. And my last pillar of training is to keep it fun. There's just no point in working out or doing anything if you're not having fun. It's great to have a race as your goal, but if you cannot get through the whole process of training and decide that every day, or the majority of the days, that you have spent training is worth it, then why do it? Because that race is such a blip in the course of your life that if you're not having fun, if the process isn't fun, why not do it? Why do it? So find an activity you love. Find people that you love. Find an environment that you love. If you love trail hiking, do trail hiking. If you love swimming in the lake, go swim in the lake. Do what makes you happy. So I do have a new program that is starting next Monday, April 1st or April 2nd. It is 90 days to crush your goals, boost your confidence, and move and feel better. It's one of my online boot camps, 13 weeks for $59. You can go to my website, crushingmygoals.com/store, and you will see the option for the monthly challenges. And it has those little daisies in the background, so you should be able to pick that one out. In my online boot camp, we do one new high-intensity interval training workout each week. I have warm-ups and cool-downs. You get a fantastic community of women who support you. There's articles and discussions to help you stay consistent and to crush your goals. I really think that training, no matter what you're doing, is about so much more than the physical act of going through the workout. Especially running, but any kind of training you do, it's preparing you for so much of your life, whether it's relieving stress or serving as a social outlet or just making you feel more confident so that you can go stand up to that snooty coworker or go ask your boss for a raise or whatever it is. It just plays out into so many more aspects of your life. And so I like to also touch on mindset training. So we're talking about mindset. What do you do if you're in a triathlon and you wipe out on your bike? How do you get up and keep going? Or mindset that carries over into other aspects of your life. I like to talk about that kind of stuff also because I think it's important, and I like to help empower the people that I'm working with. So that's one option if you want to work with me. I also have run coaching programs. I have Run Your First 5K, which is a 16-week small group program, and also Run Your First or Fastest Half Marathon, which is a 20-week program. You can be a complete beginner to start these, and they are $29 a month. I also do one-on-one coaching and marathon training, and that's more custom training, so it is $95 a month. With all of my programs, you always get a training plan that's updated weekly, the strength, mobility, and flexibility training we talked about, weekly lessons to help you with your smart training decisions. I like the people that I work with to be educated so that when you're done working with me, that you can look at a plan or just learn how to make your own decisions about what's right for your body. You also get support from me and the community in our private Facebook group, and just lots of access to me. I think anybody who's been working with me will tell you that I am always available to talk to, for guidance, support, just to help you. So here is the free gift that you can go get right now. If you go to crushingmygoals.com / the letter P as in power, another slash and the word free, you will see a link to what I call the basics bundle. It has a dynamic warm-up. The dynamic warm-ups elements that I include in all of my programs. It also includes that go-to strength workout that I talked about before. Hi, I just turned my video on. I forgot to do that. It also shows a posture lesson. I talk about posture a lot, tell you why it's important and how you can improve your posture. Because if you are not holding good posture throughout the day, how are you going to hold that posture when you're running or swimming or biking or golfing or whatever it is? You need good posture. And so I have a posture lesson to help you. And then my self-care secrets video that talks about foam rolling. All of that is free. It comes in an email series with videos. So go to that link that I have at the bottom of the screen and download that. I am so glad that you were able to join me today. I would love to work with some of you. And even if you don't want to work with me, I am going to try to do these webinars on a semi-regular basis. So let me know what kinds of topics you want, what you want to learn about. You can send me an email or post on Facebook, send me a message, however that works for you. But I want to start getting in the habit of doing this and bringing you all kinds of exciting speakers and helping you just learn more about health and nutrition and fitness. So have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you online soon.